Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I can see quite a few familiar faces. Thank you for joining. So, oh, it's a feature, not a bug. Just give me a sec. Oh, there you go. So that's me. I'm Alex Panousis. I'm with Agile Actors since 2015, 7 years. I'm the Java chapter lead, so meaning that essentially whoever is working with JVM technologies under my team, I'm going to show what team looks like within Agile Actors. Let me first explain, what was the initial vision, right? What was the initial vision of putting together an organization called Agile Actors? There is also a funny story behind the name, Actors. I mean, imagine trying to explain to your parents working for Agile Actors what this could probably mean. Obviously, they thought that I was going to change direction in my career and become an actor, which didn't happen. I remember, joining Agile Actors in 2015, and we were in a small office in Marousi area. There was another organization on the second floor, and people were asking us where our next play is going to take place. Obviously, we're not actors, but we are professionals acting for business, and this is what Actor stands for. The initial vision was to be able to give the ability to people, to join a place where they will be able to continuously develop themselves and pursue their next career goals. This was the main goal of Agile Actors. Cool. So when people ask me, right, and I get this question a lot of times during interviews, for example, what do we actually do? They ask me, do you do products, internal products? do you have something that you develop actively and you sell like a B2B business? The answer is really no. Are you a company that you take projects from other companies and you implement them and you give them back? Again, the answer is no. So what do we actually develop then? What is actually our product? What what we work for? This is the most important product. This is what we believe actually, right? That this is the most important product of of the industry we work at. It's you. It's everyone essentially, right? It's the tech professional. This is the actual product, which is the most precious. Without you, nothing can actually happen. And how this can actually take place? We have three, let's say, main pillars. The first one, we call it, continuous coaching. What continuous coaching is the ability of someone, of a professional, to have a coach, someone who's a bit more experienced than a professional, and be able to give not only coaching, but also mentoring in terms of soft skills, in terms of tech skills. Practice, of course, practice. Without practice, we're nothing, and practice means real customers, real projects. And continuous learning, the ability to have access to material to train yourself, but also the ability to become an instructor. And for that reason, there is another organization, Agile Actors #learning, dedicated for trainings, not only internal, but also external. And people working for Agile Actors can actually become instructors at learning. This is our model, if I can call it as such. And it looks like a matrix-type organization where, essentially we don't have verticals. Our verticals are our customers, are the delivery teams of the customers. And the horizontals are our chapters. Okay, so you can see on the left, big data, web development, UX, UI, Java, different chapters. I will name them one by one on the next slide. So this matrix-type organization has one chapter lead on the right, like you can see, a board. And these are not the experts, but the people who support the community, right? The chapter within Agile Actors, in terms of trainings, in terms of let's say preparing material and taking care for the well-being of the people within the organization. Of course, you can also see the coach here, and the coach plays a significant role because it is someone who is always next to the professional, trying to make the best out of it, the best out of the professional. Practice means how we work with our customers, and this is by augmenting people with their customers' team. So you might see here one team on the vertical, but it can be an Agile Actors team, but not by design. It can happen by accident, and only if the customer actually wants it to be like this. So people from Agile Actors can be on the team of the customer, working with customers, professionals, from our customers, vendors, professionals, etc. It's up to the customer to choose how our people would like to work on the customer. Meaning that people with Agile actors, they live and breathe our culture, but they also live and breathe our customer cultures. So we have to have something that it is perfectly aligned there. All these years, yeah, the number is real, right? Approximately 1,000 professionals have started working with Agile actors. Obviously, not all of them are with us today. And are not with us today because some of them have been acquired entirely as teams, right? The 250 number here is OpenBet. OpenBet was the first initiative of Agile actors in Greece. And when it reached up to 250, then OpenBet acquired it and it became OpenBet Hellas. And the last one is a recent acquisition. It's Camelot Lottery Solutions that acquired the team here in Greece, and it became Camelot Greece. These are the chapters: Agile practices and business analysis, data, Java, people and culture, software engineering and test and infrastructure, user experience and design, web development, full stack JS, and .NET. These are, let's say, all of them. There might be a small one as well, but these are the main chapters of Agile actors. What you can see here, I did mention continuous development, and this is the way we see it, right? I mean, if I take a step back, I strongly believe that all of us, no matter what, no matter if we work for the software or not, we keep a backlog somewhere, right? Consciously or unconsciously, we have somewhere a backlog of things that we would like to do, okay, or what we have actually done. We call them also dots because, like Steve Jobs was saying, you can connect the dots only looking backwards, right? So it has a meaning as well. So the model that we're applying is like keeping a backlog for its professional. Each professional actually keeps its backlog of the things that they would like to do. We mentioned OKRs, but it's not an OKR system. And people, they start working on what they would actually like to do. What we've seen 3 years ago is that the traditional 360 model, feedback model, didn't actually work because when we were talking about continuous development, each professional, and I'm sure you know this, they have their own pace. You have your own pace. I mean, you understand things differently. You want to work on things differently. You dedicate time differently. Each one is special, okay? And by doing so, it means that we cannot have a static model trying to create something which is very dynamic and very special for each individual. So what we have tried to do, not tried, but applied, and it works even today, is that we have let's say a feedback review model that anyone can ask for whenever they actually want. Let me go to this slide because it might explain it a bit better. So any point in time, right, you, everyone, and me with my coach, I ask him, right, or her to start a feedback review. Why I want to do this? Because the project has actually finished, right? Or I feel that I have achieved something, and I want, my colleagues, my customer, I want them to give me feedback because this is the point in time that I need to understand whether I did good job or not. If I remember correctly, back then when I was doing 360 reviews, I wasn't able to give actually feedback for someone that did something 10 months ago. I can't remember what I did yesterday. I'm a father, I have 3 kids, so it's obviously I can't remember what I did yesterday because I did so many things. So how can I be able, to comment on something that someone asked me to review that happened 10 months ago? It's physically very difficult to achieve. So each professional is able, to ask for a feedback whenever they want, so they can understand what they have to change or whether they've achieved something. And this is the dot that I mentioned before. And this means that compensation is also dynamic, right? I mean, each individual, each professional, they have their own pace, even on their evolution of their compensation. And this is really important. In regards of locations, I believe that if we were to review this, this slide, let's say 3 years ago, most probably we were able to see a couple of dots. Now we can see more. And COVID has obviously accelerated a lot the ability of people to work remotely. And within our plans is that whenever we have a certain number of people in a specific city, then we want to create a hub so that people can be together and work together whenever they would like to. Now, if you ask me what's going to happen next year, I don't really know. We'll see. I think that we will adapt, like the first slide was actually saying. The motto that you can see on the right is actually what what Dimitris Livas has been preaching even prior to Agile Actors, and it is about becoming professionals of the world, residents of your place of preference, and this is something that takes place. At the moment, 25 professionals out of the 250 that you can see here are working remotely, fully remotely for Agile Actors, and who knows what this number will be next month or next year. These are not indicative, but quite precise. I mean, obviously, the admin stuff is is very lean because we keep a lean model in terms of how the business is being running. And also, the number of tech professionals is 250. It was greater earlier this year, but the acquisition of Camelot has put this to this number, the 250. And the QR code, you can see it. Obviously, we are hiring. I can't see anyone who isn't hiring these days. So you can either ask outside or visit the Workable page. Of course, everyone uses Workable. You're smiling, guys, right? That's good. To see our openings and see what what you can do with us. Just before closing, I want to share a personal story. I was, while I was driving here with my motorbike, I was in Piraeus Street. I was trying to think, what to say today, right? And I was thinking, that slide. Let me go back. This one, the one with the dots. And since I'm here by accident, because Alexandros Basakidis, the managing partner, should have been here today, but he wasn't able to make it, and I was called to come here. So I was thinking that, I always wanted to be here on stage, not as an actor, as an Agile actor, for a small presentation or even a big one like tomorrow. So for me, I believe that this is one of my dots. And I want to thank you personally for staying here with me because it is very special. Thank you.